Kenosha today.
Hello again, everybody.
Oh, Harry! Oh, yeah, Harry!
You know, there comes a time when you probably ought to stop broadcasting. I probably should have quit about 5 years before I passed.
I think we should have quit about 20 years ago.
That's okay. I've been listening since 10. I can't make anything out of it.
What am I, an accountant? What do I know? We only deal in truth here.
Oh, my God. What world am I living in? Scott Barter's making me laugh.
Don't you feel a little stupid? Go over there this afternoon. Throw your worm in the water. See how that works out.
Throw your worm in the water means something different in Los Angeles.
Well, it means about the same thing here in Kenosha. Wow, things haven't changed.
That's what I'm saying. I can't make heads or tails which part is which.
Was a virgin sacrifice?
Not that I recall. We couldn't find one.
And not in Kenosha anyway, right?
Get through what you gotta get through, Scott.
This program is a real challenge.
Uncle Scotty Barter, and welcome to the September 29th edition of the Kenosha Today Weekly Report. We are coming to you live from Studio A here at AM 1050 WLIP, streaming live someplace and booming across the cool and crisp cornfields of the Midwest, reaching out to over 1.4 million, that's million, and I mean million listeners residing here in the Tri-County area. Being brought to you this morning by our major sponsors, the Boathouse Pub and Eatery and Barter's Financial Planning Services, along with a host of other very fine local businesses. With us this morning, my former, I stress former, personal relationship advisor, Elmo Schneider, is in the house.
So, Scott, do you have a valve trombone in your trunk this morning? I do.
And this is going where?
That seems like a personal question he shouldn't answer.
You know, I had to fire him as my personal relationship advisor because he tells me to, he advises me now,
Yes.
get you, don't use this special personal gel, and instead he recommended Ben Gay, and that didn't go real well.
Probably not, yeah.
So now Captain Mike and K-Dog are assisting me, and I'm not exactly where this is going either because they want me to stop at the adult bookstore and pick up some things there. But I tell you what, fellas, when I go before Congress to get appointed to the Supreme Court,
Oh, yeah.
this could turn ugly really quick. If Kavanaugh thinks he's got problems, well, Scotty Boy's going to be on the...
Yeah, you don't want to go in anywhere where you're going to need a hot seat, where people are going to ask you a bunch of questions, bring up the past. You
Scott
don't want that
Barter
in your life.
sodomized my dog when he was a teenager.
God forbid they bring up the two-time mayoral failed
right,
candidate, you know. Hey, also my boyhood hero, our video coordinator, the Love Doctor, Spider Ronnie the camera dude, joins us here at Camp Happy Face. You know, I should just use you. You're the Love Doctor. Why don't you advise me? You've been busy working, staining the fence.
Yeah.
And engineering and board operating the Kenosha Trolley Ride this morning, Wacky Wayne is back from vacationing with the fam.
Yes.
Up in Tomahawk, wasn't it?
Yes.
Hey, we had this discussion the last time you went up to Tomahawk. There's one bar in town, right? It's on the corner, right?
No.
Where it's,
There's a lot of bars
There's a lot
in
of
town.
bars in Tomahawk, yeah.
Well, the one I was thinking about is on a corner, and I was going to ask you if they still have my name and phone number on the wall.
I didn't go into any bars on the corner in downtown Tomahawk.
Oh.
Didn't even make it to downtown.
So your question would be, you don't know.
I couldn't. No, my answer would be I don't know.
Oh, see?
I don't have a question
See,
about it.
you could be running for the Supreme Court because
I
I
could.
don't know or I can't recall.
Yeah.
Fits in perfect.
Seems to be a popular answer. Okay.
This week, the Kenosha Today.
People don't run for the Supreme Court. They're appointed.
Appointed. What did I say?
You
Run.
run.
Hey, it's a Supreme
In
Court.
Wisconsin-
He didn't volunteer for this.
The state Supreme Court, they run, but the federal Supreme Court, they're appointed.
Well, he's from Illinois. See where the confusion
I
lies.
see the problem, yeah.
You do?
Uh,
Where was I at? This week, the Kenosha Today Secret Word Challenge is sponsored by Barter's Financial Planning Services and the Kenosha Today Brain Trust. What a attendance did we have yesterday? Captain Mike, Elmo,
yeah?
Jay, K-Dog,
We
Bimbo.
talked about toast, which is a bread term.
Yeah, we did. How did we get on that?
Bimbo Mike, he's the bread expert. So.
Oh. Hey, speaking of the Bimbo boys, we got to give them another shout out to
That's
all
right.
the
That's why
Bimbo
I'm bringing it up.
drivers in the land, on the planet, that are bringing those carbs and those calories to the American public.
Well, they should.
To all you bimbo guys.
No, we're watching the ball game on there. He said, that guy's toast. And he says, that's a bread term.
Oh, yeah. Maybe I was toast.
Lighten up, Francis.
Yeah, lighten up, Francis. That's a shout-out to our friend Jay.
Yes, not his real name.
Anyway, at the Brain Trust, where was I at this morning? Secret word. Oh, if you say the secret word, you win a $20 Boathouse gift card. And then coming up after the 10:30 weather break, Kenosha's fastest-growing game show sensation, which is the Lightning Round of City in Jeopardy, sponsored by the Boathouse Pub and Eatery. And, of course, then after 11, this week's Top 10 Thought-Provoking Category, which is the top 10 signs it's fall here in Kenosha. It's only like 37.
Just another pumpkin head.
Yeah, he posted, and we'll post 2 pumpkin heads on our Facebook. Hey, speaking of Facebook, they got hacked by 50 million people, I see.
No, they got hacked by one person that stole 50 million accounts.
That's what I meant.
There you go.
We're pretty safe, though, aren't we, Elmo?
Could have been more than one, but
But we're pretty safe, right? Nobody wants to hack into our thing, right?
there's nothing they can find there. I can tell you that.
Some Russian guys trying to hack in, and he comes across Kenosha Today Facebook page.
Right.
What the hell is these guys doing?
Never mind. Just keep going.
Can
Find
you
somebody
spell
else.
collusion?
KOL. And, of course, we'll see if Inspiring Kenosha segment featured by our own Captain Mike.
Oh, we're still doing that, huh?
Oh, did we give him a topic? I thought we did.
I think I did right after you left yesterday.
We were sitting at the, get this,
On Amen Corner.
On Amen Corner.
Right.
And the windows were open earlier in the week.
Sure.
And you can tell when Captain Mike's coming to the house.
Because he's got the flag.
He's got
yeah.
the flag, and
Right.
all you do is see the flag bouncing along.
Sure.
Well, there was a group of about 4 tourists there.
Sure.
Getting ready to leave, and they said, "What is that thing out there?"
Right.
He's out there with his orange cap, yelling, and
Sure.
And I said, "Folks, that's you usually find him in a museum, in the dinosaur museum over
Right,
there."
yeah.
But he must have left
A
the door
Kenosha
out.
icon.
Icon. Fossil. Also, during that half hour, we were playing Stump the Chumps, and I forgot I didn't get a chance to call Dick.
Why?
Well, I was busy this week.
Okay.
But I'm going to get home, and the week that Elmo's gone,
27th.
27th of
He'll be
October.
singing in the state German choir singing competition.
It's
So
the
I
week
will be gone.
It'll be the week after Sweetest Day.
Okay.
So we're going to throw what we can put together for Sweetest Day and what we think about Sweetest Days. Spider, do you get the missus?
No.
You don't get her a
scale?
A scale for Sweetest Day?
Vacuum cleaner,
It's
washing
Valentine's
machine,
Day, yeah.
anything like that.
Anyway, we're going to persuade Dick and his lovely wife, I forgot what her name was.
What's her name?
Yeah, what's her name?
Yeah.
To join us and
Okay.
point counterpoint, because we really do. If there's any criticism of this show, which on occasion there is,
No. No. How could we get criticized?
we don't have enough female.
Top-notch reporting like this?
Yeah, you run for the Supreme Court. What do
Right.
you want? And we don't get a female's
Opinion very often? No. Right.
And quite frankly, we don't care, do we? At this point, but I mean, we
I
got
don't
to
care about anything. You know
we
that.
got to appear, make the appearance.
Right,
Like
yeah.
we care. And there's even more, comma. Hey, what's this special weekly editorial as the high five singers and doofuses? What is it?
What? As the pumpkin turns?
It's the pumpkin turns. Kaboink. All right, and it gets even better. Are we still here? We're up 3rd week in a row. We're up against the Packer game because they're playing at noon.
Yeah.
And of course, the way they're playing, you might want to just turn them off at after the first quarter when they're down by 21 points and tune in to us.
Next week we'll have Clay Matthews in studio to give Scott Barter an illegal hit. So
Bring Mrs. Clay Matthews. Yes. Yeah. Oh, good morning here in
she's
Kenosha
ready.
today.
Hello.
Hi,
Morning,
Shirley.
Shirley.
Your phone's working. Jer and Nick had trouble with their phones this morning.
Yeah, they're
But
probably in
you're-
your garage before that. Is
Yeah.
that the problem? So,
Hey, Shirley, did you follow any of these, the Kavanaugh and the Christine Ford deal that was on all the newspapers?
Oh,
I mean,
yeah,
on
I know.
CNN.
Oh, my gosh.
And you know what?
I just don't know what to think.
Well, here's what came out, and this wasn't on CNN or Fox or MSNBC, but this issue came up, and I just want to get your comment on this, that you and Justice Ruth Ginsburg once went to a party in a log cabin with Abraham Lincoln. And we just need, that Lincoln crowd down there in the woods of Kentucky, where he was from. I believe he was in Kentucky, right?
Yeah, but he grew up in the corrupt state of Illinois. So,
and he's a Republican. So anyway, did he molest you in any way?
No, not that I recall.
Okay, let me rephrase that. Did you molest him?
Maybe,
Honest Abe.
Honest Abe.
Abraham Lincoln, yeah.
You went to school with him, you know. You were in the preppy girls' school, weren't you? And he was in that.
Yeah.
In that
balcony of the Roosevelt Theater. I can see it now.
Yeah, there you go. That I did. Yeah, that I did.
You know,
that was many years ago, but no, I admit it, I did. Yeah.
Oh, so the next guy that's going to try to get nominated for the Supreme Court, your name is going to come up then. If you're admitting to it,
Yep.
You'll be testifying, Shirley. And this time when the senators ask you, what day did this happen, and what house did you go to, and what city you went to, you'll have a legitimate answer, right?
I was in Kenosha in the balcony of the Roosevelt Theater.
To my best of my recollection.
I wish it was still there. I was so sad when they tore that down.
I'm sure. Well, Shirley, anyway, I got to go. I got another call here, and I just wanted to get your take on it. So,
and Wacky Wayne, I'm glad you're back.
I couldn't stay away.
Well, good. I'm glad you're back. Okay.
All right. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Good morning. You're in Kenosha today.
Morning.
Good morning. Who's this?
Yeah, good morning. This is Sharon from the corrupt state of Illinois.
Thank you, Sharon.
Thanks for calling, Sharon.
Calling.
Tell me, you went with Abe Lincoln too, didn't you?
Well, we'll talk about that after you answer my questions that I'm calling about.
Okay, all right, go ahead.
Are we under oath?
Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead, Sharon.
Well, you were there. I had to leave early. I'm calling to find out who won the Miss Oktoberfest or Mrs. The Queen of Oktoberfest at Pete's Place last weekend.
Jill Plaisted won the Queen of Oktoberfest. So.
Oh, I'm so sorry to hear that, because I thought maybe Irish Ruth would win because she ditched her walker and she had high heels on.
Yes, I know. Captain Mike was putting him on her feet. She was sitting on Captain Mike's lap, and it was like putting on Cinderella's
slipper. She was sitting
slipper.
on his lap for a long time. And then she went over to another crowd of people and was, telling them why she was dressed like she was and that she had the high heels. And I went over to her because she was drinking, and I asked,
no, she was drinking.
She said, none of your business. Yes, she said, none of your business to me. And then she had the high heels on. I says, how can you walk in those? And she said, I says, because you have a walker. Where's your walker? And she ditched that over in the corner. And that's why I thought maybe she'd win, but she didn't.
Well, I saw her with the high heels on, and she was walking around.
Those were so high. I mean, they were like stilettos. They were 6 inches high.
I know, but
she doesn't need 6 inches high heels either, because she's a tall woman.
Here's the news flash. Because of her walking around, they actually struck oil on pizza in the grassy part there.
And what did they load it out with? The walker?
Was she loaded?
Well, no, she loads her walker up, so I'm wondering if they,
Do you know she brought her kitchen chair with her?
Anyways, let's get back. That's my question. You answered it. You said someone else wins. That's too bad, because that was, I think, that would have been the highlight of Irish Ruth's life or weekend, to tell you the truth.
Well, we could give her Miss Congeniality award.
Better luck next year.
Yeah, give her an award, please.
Okay.
I really think she deserves one. Now, my other question is, when we're talking about the Kavanaugh thing, Kavanaugh,
yeah, right.
What I believe, because it came up, is forget the FBI, forget all this. That woman, Mrs. Ford, whatever her name is, she made criminal charges against him. I think if we're both people's interests, they should just forget the FBI, do a criminal investigation, go to court. That's what they should do.
They have no interest in doing this. The whole thing is
nobody has any interest in doing anything. All it was a he said, she said.
No, that's nothing to do with this. The whole thing is grandstanding by the Democrats in it run up to the midterm election.
Sharon, where did you get that she filed criminal charges? I don't think she actually
because
did.
One of the when he was talking, Kavanaugh,
yeah?
I think it was Lindsey Graham and another Republican said, these are if someone charged you with gang rape or rape,
that make you want to stay in your house and lock your doors.
You're right. Sorry,
Sorry about that.
I had a bad feed there.
Yeah, that's okay for the alderman of Kenosha to lock your doors. That's okay. I lock mine too. But anyways,
hey, let me ask you one more.
No, they came up and said these are criminal charges against you, Mr. Kavanaugh, and he knows that, and you and I know that. So they should quit this BS and just do a criminal investigation. And all it is a he said, she said, and all it is against Republicans and Democrats. It's nothing to do with anything else.
Hey, did you see the hearing?
They just want to run our country into the ground.
Hey, Sharon, did you see how this hearing ended yesterday? They took the vote, and within seconds after that, some of the Democrats are still talking and asking questions. And the chairman, he says, 2-hour rule, we're done. Thanks for coming. He picks up and goes home. I love that.
Bye-bye, bye-bye,
and
bye-bye.
that Feinstein woman, you give her something for confidence. Once you tell somebody, like if I told you, hey, this happened, but don't tell. If you just tell somebody what happened, but don't ever use the words "don't tell" because that means everything is being told.
Sharon, I think it's all fake. This has been set up from the beginning. It was not don't tell is just it's another lie.
They're not thinking of us. They're using these two as pawns.
Well, do you think he's going to get? You think he's got the votes to?
I don't know. Both of them. It's a he said, she said.
Welcome to my world.
Both of them. you don't know who to believe. She's up there smiling and saying stuff. He's up there crying and then smiling, and then his family. The two people that are involved, who I really feel sorry for is their families, their husbands, their kids, their cousins, everybody. This is shameful to drag people through the ringer like this.
What'd you think of the performance of your boy, Dick Durbin?
Oh.
No, Scott, you're taking my zinger away here.
Oh, sorry.
Oh, my God. He is a piece of work. And
piece of what?
He says this and that, and then he's saying this and that, and actually what you should say to him, well, if you have these problems, make it a criminal investigation. How
about Dianne Feinstein?
He's been investigated 6 times already.
Said, well, we need these answers. We need the FBI. Well, I'm talking to you now.
Hey, how about Dianne Feinstein?
Look at,
she's 40 miles of bad road, man.
I did not spill. I made this confidential. My goodness. They should have made this, that letter should have come out a year or two ago.
They need to pursue ethics charges against her.
On her front door, okay?
Looks like
this is all nonsense. But there's a lot of people in the United States that don't know what to believe, and they're swayed, they're brainwashed.
Here's I'll give
Homina Stolte.
I got to give you one last comment, and I got to let you go, Sharon. Here's one definite comment I know 100%. Earl Scheib puts on her makeup.
You might be right about that. I thank you, Scott.
All right, baby.
Listen,
Thanks.
guys, have a good day. But I'm just sorry to hear about Irish Ruth not winning the contest.
Well, it's like I almost
maybe
said.
she'll
it's a travesty.
The Kenosha one at tonight, and maybe she'll win there.
Well,
I think we need a congressional hearing.
Yes,
to look into
we need
that,
to be in.
Yeah.
Pete's Union Park Tavern needs to be investigated.
Captain Mike, involved. He needs to be the judge.
Oh, my God.
I don't think he can be impartial.
All you guys need to be judges.
The FBI is only one place. They can't investigate everybody. Okay. All right, Sharon. Thanks.
Thanks, Sharon.
Okay, thank you.
Oh, that's
Bye.
a good way to start. Hey, I got to get this in before the 10:30 break. This weigh in on the Kavanaugh hearings. I think everybody kind of saw this for what it is. And this poor gal.
Kabuki Theater.
I mean, how can you tell? You can't have an investigation All right, so let's say I'm the head of the FBI, and you come to me and say...
that poor FBI. We thought J. Edgar Hoover was bad.
Just the facts, ma'am.
He wears a red dress. Scott does. So.
I know, right?
Yeah.
Well, let's not diverse. And you're going to say, well, you're accusing this guy of molesting you. Well, what city did this happen? I'm not sure. Well, what house in whatever city? I'm not sure. And what day? I just hope when she gets to Oz and she meets the wizard, she has a better answer than that. I thought that was pretty clever.
Sure.
When we can talk about that.
If I only had a brain.
Yeah, if I only had a brain. Oh, back to this. We are replaying this anyway. We started this.
We are?
We're playing it here tomorrow at noon. And then also on Time Warner Cables, or it's actually Spectrum. I should change that.
Is it Spectrum now?
Yeah.
All right.
For like 4 years now.
Oh, okay.
I just found out Nixon wasn't president. Who's Trump? When did he come up here? I thought he's still building buildings and making buildings, whatever. Anyway, that's on Tuesdays at 5 and Wednesdays at 6 on Channel 14. And you can sign up with the thousands of our fans and listeners who get us on Facebook. And if you ever want to join us on Friday afternoon for Getting Silly with Scotty at 3 p.m., come on down to the boathouse and bring some cash. And you'll see how a finely tuned radio show gets put together.
Oh, yeah.
When we get back, a couple things that I want to talk about here. The city council approved life rings for the pier. Now, here's my rub. I mean, I'm all for trying to save lives. And I'm a fan of Alderman Dan Przanski.
Yeah.
But here he is speaking in front of a committee, and he's wearing a Bears shirt. God almighty. How bad is that? He's wearing a Bears shirt, and then he put his picture on the front page above the fold. Oh, boy, what can we do? He puts a wears a Bears shirt.
Could be problems in the next election, you know.
Yeah.
You're here on the border. You got a 50-50 shot, you know.
But I would like to point out a couple things. In Kenosha, so we had 4 drownings this year. And I feel bad about that. I sincerely do.
Only 4?
Drownings.
Right, only 4.
And the year's not over.
Right, that's not bad.
All right, now, last weekend, there were three drug-related deaths. And right now, Kenosha's sitting on 15 drug overdoses. And by the time the toxicology reports come back, they expect it to be right around 50. Last year, we had 43 drug-related deaths. So what are we supposed to do? Put a kiosk around in front of every drug house in town to save lives? And here's another one. 80,000 Americans died of the flu last winter.
Get your shot yet, Scotty?
No, I got to tell you that story. So what are we supposed to do? Put a kiosk in front of every outlet that gives flu shots? This has nothing to... I'm not going to say the name of the organization, but they were giving flu shots. This had to be, well, at least 10, 12 years ago.
Sure.
And I get my flu shot on the air.
Okay.
So as a joke, the nurse comes and says, "You ready for your flu shot?" He goes, "Yeah, that really worked last year." She goes, "How so?" And I goes, "I got the flu within 30 days after you given me this." Unfortunately, I haven't heard back from those people. No. I don't know.
You know, Scott, penicillin is used to cure other things, too.
Yeah, well, maybe that's...
Shot in 7 days worth of pills, Scott. You'll be fine.
Put it in the old buttocks.
It'll cure it right up.
You know, for a nurse, where is the best place to have a shot? In your arm or in your buttocks?
Whatever you enjoy the most.
Pretty sure it's the arm.
Anyway, we can talk about that when we get back. Who's on the weather?
Pete.
Pete?
Yeah.
Oh, we like him, don't we?
It's last time I checked.
All right.
He was, earlier.
Yeah,
he's still the guy.
He came in, well, you're the prettiest face here.
Right, there's that.
But then you got Pete and Dan.
Yeah.
And Bill and Lenny.
Yeah.
But you're the go-to guy.
You and
Celovich.
Exactly.
Pete today, or the other day.
Yeah. All right. Anyway, Pete's on the way. Yeah, I just asked you that question.
It's true, you did.
Asked and answered,
right,
Counselor.
Problem solved.
How soon they forget.
Yeah. All right. We'll be back in a couple. Barter, and welcome to the.
Oh, that's on camera. That's perfect.
The sign fell down. I want an investigation, Wacky Wayne.
Quit doing sight gags on the radio, all right?
Did you see me jump?
Uh-huh.
You know
Nobody else did. You know why? Because it's radio. Here we are doing sight gags on the radio.
Can see it on YouTube or on TV. Yeah. Okay, that's perfect.
There you go.
I was a little frightened. Anyway.
Do we need to take another commercial break? Do you need to check?
Yeah,
make sure you're okay.
Well, look, I'm wearing dark pants.
Depends. There you go. Problem solved.
I knew those would come in. Anyway, as you probably realize, we are coming to you live.
Live, very live.
From Studio A here at AM 1050 WIP. We're spreading the love.
Is that all?
You guys really enjoyed that, didn't you?
We got to have 911 on speed dial for when Scotty has a heart attack.
Falls down, and you guys think that that's great comedy. You're looking for a thing of comedy.
I was moving right along.
Somewhat prophetic, I think.
Anyway, we invite you to join the thousands of fans who've already signed up and liked us on Facebook. And you can see stuff like that. We are brought to you by our major sponsors, the Boathouse Pub and Eatery and Barter's Financial Planning Services, along with a host of many other very fine local businesses. Joining us this morning, my former relationship advisor, who is now my legal advisor, Elmo Schneider, is here.
Good morning.
And I'm pretty confident that he can guide me through my Supreme Court nomination hearings. Yeah, just don't tell anybody I once dated Dianne Feinstein. Like I said, she's 40 miles of bad road, and her makeup gets put on by Earl Scheib, so the Democrats are real proud of her. What state is she from? New York? No.
California.
Oh. Well, she's up for election this year, huh?
Don't look at me, dude. I don't follow these things. Don't care.
Okay, dude.
Not even a little bit.
You know what? I love the part when Kavanaugh asked her, or was it the other gal from Minnesota, when she was accusing him, do you like beer? Yeah, I like beer. Have you ever blacked out when drinking beer? No, but he says, have you? She goes, I'm asking the questions. And I thought it was nice for Kavanaugh to come back and ask us, a U.S. Senator, a woman yet, that if she blacks out drinking beer. Anyway. Also is with us the Kenosha State Love Doctor, Spider Ronnie, the camera dude. You know, if you were up for Supreme Court.
I gotta focus in on that sign.
Yeah, thank you very much. You should put that up on YouTube or something. Yeah. And of course, engineering and board operating the Kenosha Today train wreck this morning. The prettiest face here at WIP, Wacky Wayne, rejoins us after a weekend with the family. Did you once even think about us? I mean, dude?
No, I don't think that I did. Hold on. No, not even a little bit.
Your in-laws didn't even ask how's your career going in radio?
Well, they ask about the state. You know, they ask about the FM station. Nobody asks me how things are going on the AM station. Half the people I talk to are like, "Oh, they've got an AM station up there, do they?" That's real nice.
Wait, how's it going with those PSAs you're doing? You're still doing the voice on the PSAs?
Oh, yeah.
We got a call here?
That? No, we don't.
Oh, okay.
We have an unavailable right here. Do you want to talk to them?
No.
All right, I didn't think so either.
Anyway, coming up after
that didn't change since I left, right?
After the 11:30 break, our weekly editorial segment, As the Pumpkin Turns.
It's probably Kavanaugh calling, wanted to talk about his nomination process.
He wants to join us.
Getting silly with Scotty.
Yeah.
He wants to get silly with Scotty or Sally, depending on how you're feeling about the transgender thing.
I can just see Kavanaugh and Captain Mike and Irish Ruth kind of getting together and.
No, I'd rather not think about that. No, moving on.
Okay, in the first half hour, no one has won this morning's Secret Word Challenge. And if you do happen to mention today's Secret Word, we'll send you a $20 Boathouse gift card. And again, the show is being recorded for training purposes, and in case we get investigated by the FBI.
Yeah, legal.
It's all an open record, no problem.
Of course, after the 11 o'clock break, excuse me, I had a little bubble there.
It's coming earlier than earlier. You're going to have to get that looked at some point.
Oh, by the way, good news is I'm going for my physical.
Oh, good.
In November 8th at 8:40.
Wait till
so you might be okay by the Veterans Day show.
Oh, yeah, speaking of that. We are doing our Veterans Day on November 10th at the American Legion.
If Scotty survives his physical.
Right.
Yeah.
Is that
turn your head? No.
We will have the photo album there for everybody to look at.
I have to go there, and I guess the gal says, you haven't been here in a number of years. And I goes, probably 5. She goes, well, it's got to be more than that because after 8, you have to apply for a new patient status.
Oh, wow. Okay.
So I says, well, there's nothing wrong with me. She goes, yeah, but you're going to be 69 years old. Don't you think you ought to have some preventive? I go, there's nothing wrong with me. Snotty attitude in there, but I don't think they're going to fix that.
I'm sure they could give you a shot for that.
I can always go to the health department for that.
Penicillin. Shot in 10 days worth of pills.
And then after 11 o'clock, we'll see if Captain Mike is up to inspiring Kenosha. And now, boys and girls, it's time to play Kenosha's fastest growing game show sensation, The lightning round of City in Jeopardy, sponsored by the Boathouse Pub and Eatery. And to be eligible, no one from your household could have won any contest on WIP within the last 60 days. We now clear the phone lines.
They've been cleared.
And I'm going to read the question, which is, as always, a very sophisticated, intelligent, multiple-choice question. You will then get 3 somewhat intellectual answers to choose from. And after that, you will hear And the first caller to correctly answer the question wins a Kenosha Today $25 gift certificate to the Boathouse Pub and Eatery, located at 4917 7th Avenue here in Kenosha. Open Monday through Friday at 11 a.m., featuring weekly lunch and dinner specials. And enjoy a beautiful waterfront view, and stop in for their big Saturday and Sunday morning breakfast and Bloody Mary specials beginning at 7 a.m. until noon. And you know what they ought to do? They should have, for the tourists, they should announce the times that Captain Mike is coming by, so the tourists can see.
Just watch the flag go by out of the window?
Yeah. A parade, yeah.
And that should be in the tourism book.
You should talk to the city council.
And, oh, yeah, there's a fun group. I'll go down there with my Packer outfit, and I want to talk to Basansi.
There you go.
You know, before I get to this, him wearing that bear shirt, and getting his picture, kind of pars right up there with the same time Anthony Kennedy wore a pink shirt with lace on the collar. That's right there. And then he wears it to Wolfenbüttel when he went over there for 10 days to talk to the Germans. Anyway, if you're planning a party or a banquet, call Joyce at 262-654-9922, or you can find them on the web at boathousekenosha.com. All right, here's a sophisticated question. Big article in the paper today, or this week. The unified enrollment has dropped again. So what is the biggest reason that the enrollment in the Kenosha Unified School District is down this year? A, working at McDonald's is no longer requires an elementary school degree. B, the quality of drugs and pills aren't what they used to be. C, Uncle Scotty is now homeschooling the kids who are barely smarter than a 5th grader. 262-694-1050. The first caller, what is the biggest reason that enrollment in the Kenosha Unified School District is down? A, working at McDonald's no longer requires an elementary school degree. B, the quality of drugs and pills aren't what they used to be. Or C, Uncle Scotty is now homeschooling the kids who are barely smarter than a 5th grader. Wagon Wayne, we have a caller. All right.
Several.
Good morning. You're on Kenosha Today.
Good morning.
Who's this?
Richard from Pleasant Prairie.
Richard. Now, you haven't won anything lately, have you, Richard?
No.
Oh, heck no.
Okay. Well, you're not a loser. You just haven't played, right?
Thanks a lot.
I said, I'm trying, in case you run up the Supreme Court, we just want to clarify that you're not a loser. You're a winner.
That would be good.
Okay, Richard. All right. What's the biggest reason that enrollment in the Kenosha Unified School District is down this year? A, working at McDonald's no longer requires an elementary school degree. B, the quality of drugs and pills aren't what they used to be. Or C, Uncle Scotty is now homeschooling the kids who are barely smarter than a 5th grader. Little Richard!
C!
Well, you lost it.
C.
That's not the right answer. I'm sorry. Yes, that's you. Yeah, we won. You won. I've always wanted to do that once in a while, just to keep you on your toes there, Richard.
What's that?
I just want. Are you paying? Try to focus. All right.
Scotty, quit teaching everybody in the basement at Barter Manor, okay?
Yeah. Well, Richard, you get to brag today because you've just been named the smartest person in all of Kenosha.
Pleasant Prairie.
And Pleasant Prairie.
For the time being?
Well, like I said,
Just
we're not
for
sure
today.
about tomorrow. Just for today, not sure about tomorrow. So what do you think of all this Supreme Court nonsense?
I don't know. I think they're both lying.
Really?
Yes.
What makes you say that?
I don't think she's too sure of her answers and that stuff. And the other guy, he's lying.
Okay. Well, you must have a reason to think he's lying. Is he?
Well, it's kind of funny in that stuff. All of a sudden, she comes into view when this guy's supposed to go for a Supreme Court judge, and then they bring it up.
Yeah, 36 years ago.
Yeah.
You haven't anything shady in your past from 36 years ago, do you?
36 years ago? No.
Okay.
Further back.
So, if you're in front of the Senate Judiciary Committee, you will admit to that, right?
Yeah, I guess.
And then here, I love it. Richard from Pleasant Prairie is now the next, your first runner-up for Supreme Court Justice, and you're going to be there for life.
Okay, that sounds good. How much is it to pay?
Yeah.
Well, what is it?
Not that much.
A couple $100,000, maybe?
Yeah.
I don't think it's more. It's more power, and
Yep.
But you'll be leaving.
I think I could live on 100,000.
You could? You married?
Oh God, yeah.
Well, then you better take 200,000.
200,000. Yep.
And you'll take 20 for yourself, and the other 180 goes to the missus.
Yeah, right.
You know how that works, right?
No.
Sure.
Okay.
No. It's 1,199.
Okay.
So it just doesn't cover the bar tab. That's it. So.
Is your wife listening to this?
No.
Well, she'd be mighty proud of you, don't you? Aren't you the one that's been married for some years?
Yeah.
Boy, your enthusiasm. How do you expect to be named to the highest court in the land with that kind of attitude?
I plead the fifth.
We drink a fifth. Welcome to Harvard. Okay, Richard, off the air. Wacky Wayne's going to get your information, and then I'll get you this out on Monday. And if you're going to bring the missus down to the boathouse when you come?
Do I have to?
No. Just make sure she don't hear this.
Just bring a lot of cash.
Just bring the $25 gift certificate. Come on a Friday at 3, and we'll see you on Amen Corner.
Okay, thank you.
All right, Richard. Right. All right. Don't go away, though. All right. As long as I was on that, I don't think anybody cares about the, they have this count day at the Unified enrollment, how they drops. But, it poses a good question. Aren't people having kids like they used to?
No.
I guess not. People are getting married a little later in life.
Mm-hmm.
And
they're staying married, too. That just came out.
Yes. I had that someplace in here. Boy, that's frightening. What's the attraction?
They're making better choices. I guess that's.
What are you saying? We missed it a couple times.
You got it.
Yeah, I had somewhere in here this guy that. He was married. Oh, that was the guy that ran for mayor 169 times, right? And lost.
96.
96.
No, different offices. Okay.
Oh, different offices. We'll figure that out.
No, he had a great platform, though, legalizing gambling and prostitution. So
and the guy didn't win with that?
And he didn't win. No, it's never won. So.
What state?
Well, no, it's in Canada.
I guess, you would think then that our taxes would go down because we get the unified budget, which they voted on. There was only a few people that actually went there. But, okay, we've sent stuff to him before.
Well, they can't do anything about the taxes until the next budget. So.
Right, okay.
Right.
But
because if it drops, that means less state aid is the other thing. So.
Well, wait till Foxconn gets here. I think that this is going to go back up. I mean, people are going to they're going to bring all their snot-nosed little kids when they come to live in Kenosha, right?
I don't know if they have them.
Well, don't be bringing them to Mr. Barter's neighborhood.
Well, then quit teaching them in the basement of Barter's Manor.
Hey, some of these kids.
More alligators for the moat.
Right.
I have to get more bullets for the guards at the Concertina and whatnot.
Right.
In the tower. And Halloween is only coming up.
That's right.
Skipping
30 days.
Kenosha now goes back and celebrates Halloween on Halloween.
Oh, yeah?
That's what I heard.
No.
We should have, like everything else we do in town, we should celebrate like our 4th of July parade last Sunday in June.
Wednesday.
Yeah, we should have it on the last Wednesday in April.
All right, sounds good.
That's a good time for Halloween.
Close enough. That's the one thing I always disliked about Halloween. It's always, you never know how the weather's going to go. Sometimes it snows, sometimes it's raining. You get these cool costumes, and then you got to wear your winter coat over it. Yep. It's like, what's the point?
You're very good.
Some days more than others.
Yes.
Actually, Sunday was, I thought, in my view, was a good time to have it because it's, in the middle of the day, and like you said, if it's raining, and
right.
But, even when they went back, I think it's been a couple of years since the city went back and had it at night. I didn't hear of anybody getting picked up or
any bad things happening.
Yeah.
No, because I knew some people that lived in a neighborhood, and they would take their kids around, and it was every house they went to, the adults got shots.
I could work with that.
Yeah.
I could hang with them.
Yeah.
Kids got candy, and the adults got shots.
That's a good neighborhood there.
Well, the reason it turns me off is the first time back in 2006 when I was in my house, and the neighbors kind of did that. It was on a Sunday. It was very nice, warm, and everybody kind of sat out by the garage. We gave out candy and exchanged beverages.
Sure.
And then I noticed 4 vans coming down the block. And 4 kids coming in from outside my neighborhood to come take advantage of me. Well, that was the end of
like you've never been taken advantage of before.
I could only hope.
Careful, you're going to get some more angry texts if you keep that up, Scotty.
I've been doing pretty good on that.
Yeah, good. I'm glad.
You know,
changed your number, huh?
New phone.
His phone broke.
Yeah, when the sign came down,
yeah,
I cracked the phone. For those that have just tuned in, Uncle Scotty experienced a traumatic experience, harrowing, almost on the verge of death here when the Kenosha Today sign that's up here on the wall came trouncing down and just
almost caught you in the noggin.
The humanity just caught me in the noggin.
Almost.
And a big article this week about we've kidded about do-over Kenosha.
Yeah.
Well, here's this. This is I don't know why they keep hiring Oaks and Son to do all our paving and asphalting, but this is not even close. And so now they got to come back and they're going to have to do it over again. And so they're saying, well, go out and just cover it up with 3 inches of asphalt. Well, no, the project called for concrete or cement, whatever.
That's true, but you've already inconvenienced the people in that neighborhood for the entire summer while they ripped the whole road out, and now you're going to make them do it again?
Well, there is that. That's the downside. It was on 40th Avenue.
4th Avenue between 52nd and 50th, I want
50th Street.
Okay.
About 50th Street to just south 46th Street on 40th Avenue.
That's it, farther.
But why should we negotiate with these people? But you know what? There seems to be the only ones that get these contracts.
Right.
And so I guess you get what you pay for, right?
Continually.
Yes?
No.
They did a good job on 71st Street. I do have to step.
Yeah.
They did a good... Your street, 7th Avenue, did
7th was good. That's still holding good. And then just down on 71st.
71st, they did all new concrete from 7th down to 2nd Avenue. So,
wow.
Yep.
You know, what they did in 6th Avenue in the downtown, they had to go back and apparently redo some issues down there. But, I mean, I thought that if you didn't have this done, there was huge penalties I've seen in the contracts, like $1,000 or $3,000 a day, something. But it's in the contract. If you don't have this done, to our satisfaction, you start clipping it off.
Right.
Why do we mamby-pamby these guys? 262-694-1050. Maybe we got to get in the construction business. What do you think, Spider?
Ooh, okay.
Well, the problem is Captain Mike's on their engineering staff, so I think that may have some...
Yeah, that's what we do.
Oh, that's the problem.
On a good note,
you have a good note?
Yeah, the city hired. They got 25,000. They put these newly installed lightning detectors, and they got them in a couple of places throughout the city. Now that saves lives. That I'm all for.
Sure.
You put it up on top of a building, and when lightning strikes,
Or when there's lightning strikes in the air, you get a warning saying, "Hey, there's lightning." That kind of thing.
Golf course.
Yeah, they put it on the golf course. And,
is there a 1-iron on that?
Oh, that's what happened to my club. I was wondering where that went.
Not even God can hit a 1-iron. Okay.
What movie is that from? Caddyshack.
No, it's Lee Trevino.
Oh,
he said that. Use your 1-iron? No, not even God can hit one.
But this, I think they're 20-some thousand a piece. Where did I write this? It was 24,000 a piece, and I can think that they continue to put these things up throughout the city. And it sounds
well, you put it up in all the public spaces, parks and stuff, so you can warn the kids to.
I'm thinking
seek
about
shelter and stuff.
You're gonna put one on top of Barter Manor?
That's what I'm thinking. I should put mine. I got a 2-story house. I put it on. Anytime there's lightning that strikes in my neighborhood or close to me, I'm warned.
Right. It's good to know these things.
I finally got my security
cameras.
Now, come on, boys.
I know nothing.
Of course, the beach house in Simmons Island finally is, they gave $500,000 renovation, expected to be done by year's end, and based on this other stuff that goes on in Kenosha, in do-over Kenosha, they'll probably start redoing it probably in May.
Yep.
Probably. And it has to, this was done by WPA project in the 1930s. And if you look around...
You were part of that crew, weren't you, Scott?
Yeah, I was on my 8th year of high school, and I thought, well, I might as well get a part-time job. But in those years, that, and I believe the Southport Beach House, the Muni, and Pets, and there was, I think, a couple other places that were put in by the WPA, all basically have the same kind of architecture. Mm-hmm. And, like, for example, this is listed on the Wisconsin Historical Society, as well as the city's Historic Preservation Committee, and according to this article, this must pass the muster with those two groups, and there's two fun groups to deal with.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, but I think that's well done, and that's just on the outside, but they need to, they got a beautiful beach there and a beautiful island, and if they want some instructions on how to do this, go up to North Beach in Racine, and they have volleyball tournaments, and they got something going on there every.
We discussed this earlier as to why that is. So.
Oh, that's right, because they don't have a beach house like this in North Beach.
Correct, but it's the use of federal funds that restrict the possible uses of the facility.
Yeah, in other words, what Elmo learned in his travels in the Southport Beach, if they take this grant money,
sure,
I'll let you explain. You can't use it.
They can't lease it to a private enterprise. You can't have a private restaurant or any other type of thing in there. It's you can rent it out for weddings and stuff like that, but you can't lease it to a private enterprise. That's one of the problems. Because we were going to get $1 million to redo Southport, but nope, can't do what we wanted to. So
I just hope that they can come up and. I don't think the city has the capabilities to run this, nor do I think they want to. They got rid of the big boat harbor, and sold it off to Gaddy, and then they leased a small boat harbor by the boathouse to whatever that name of that place is there. They don't want to be in this kind of business, and I guess I don't blame them. But I hope they can figure out a way to utilize that. They need probably, Steve, they couldn't even rent out for the concession area?
No, not to a for-profit corporation.
Oh, well, okay. Case solved. You take a non-for-profit that's looking to make money, like, say, the Rotary, the Kiwanis. I'm not speaking for them, but...
I'm not sure if that would even work.
Really?
Sure. Yeah.
But, I mean, there's looking...
You'd have to look over all the fine details.
That's right.
Just sign on the line. It's the easiest thing.
Yeah.
And then the city announced in the paper today the big plans for the downtown.
Downtown double vision.
They're going to take down City Hall, and it looks like they're going to have a developer. I'm not clear. Was the city...
They want to do that. This is only pie-in-the-sky stuff they're looking at, so that's it. So.
Well, they wanted a developer to build a building, and the city would lease from them.
I talked to a good friend of ours that was at that meeting to entice all the developers. 70% of the people there were government officials from outlying areas in other towns that were trying to get the same developers to do stuff in their place.
Oh, okay.
The number of developers there was not that big.
Well, maybe Oaks and Son will give us a shot. But, it looks pretty nice because where City Hall sits now, they put a little park in there that goes with the park that they already have there where the fountain is. And then you're going to put a civic center in there, which kind of like would house the peanut butter and jam and events like that.
Yeah, it's a nice, some nice artists made a lot of money to draw that up, but it'll probably never happen the way that they have it.
And then right across to the north on 52nd Street, there's a big parcel that looks like about 12 different stories, a big condominium, or not condominium, but apartments apparently.
Sure.
And I think that's nice. My only question is that parcel is owned by the mayor's brother, and I just don't want to see any favors given to that extent. But other than that, this is probably, you're right, Steve, it's pie in the sky, but it surely looks good. And even if they do...
As opposed to us and my friend who are doing real stuff down there now, so...
What do you mean, real stuff?
But, well, me and a bunch of my friends developed a major building on the lakefront. And that's 20 years ago we did that. And now my old friend and fraternity brother has bought the Kenosha National Bank building, and he's going to be doing stuff with that. So
we're going to go to news here right
now.
Hey, if you just joined us, this is Uncle Scotty Barter, and welcome to the September 29th Hecta-Click edition of the Kenosha Today Weekly Report, broadcasting live from Studio A here at AM 1050 WLIP on your radio dial. Being brought to you by our major sponsors, the Boathouse Pub and Eatery and Barter's Financial Planning Services, along with a host of many very fine local business. Why didn't somebody remind me I could have fixed the sign? So we'll just leave that thing alone. I could have fixed the sign.
I think it...
Oh, sure.
I'm going to fix it right now.
It's all our responsibility to fix your sign that's next to you.
Yeah. Oh, I can see how this is going to end. For those that joined us, I was near a death incident this morning. Yeah,
there we go.
Where the sign that is on our backdrop here, the Kenosha Today logo, came crashing down.
Crashing down.
And I saw my life before my eyes.
Did you hear me scream?
How long did that take?
Well, I wasn't in it. Taking serious journalism to an all-time high, spanning the globe, reporting on national stories, state stories, local issues, and on occasion we might stretch things a bit. And joining us this morning, soon to be named this year's recipient of the Corbell Peace Prize, my legal advisor, the Honorable Elmo Schneider, Esquire, is here.
You know, going back into my relationship advisor role, I asked you yesterday, you know, they've invented the most realistic sex robot in the world.
Why are you telling me this?
Well, okay. well, you know why it's the most realistic? It says no.
You could probably program this thing to say a bunch of other things like, "Oh, Scotty, you're the best," or something like that. Anyway, hey,
do I have to stay awake for this?
Yeah. I had a health question to ask Spider. When I go to my physical, Spider,
Yeah.
do I wear clean underwear? Should I wear clean underwear to go to physical, or just wear the dirtiest things from a month? Just
They could take samples from there.
DNA. Yeah. Oh, Jesus. God darn it. He did that on purpose. Now the sign is now completely off the wall.
Oh, man.
Thing's getting beaten.
This is going to be a good show for television.
God. Again, another flash of death. That's twice in 90 minutes.
Yeah.
You were talking about your underwear.
It's an omen.
Whew. Boy, I guess now if I didn't have an accident before,
Right.
I did now.
You did now. All right.
You got to use something other than an unbent paper clip to hold that thing up.
Oh, I've been using it for 5 years and it's been good enough. Anyway, let's see. I had a question to ask you, Mr. Legal Advisor. Hey, if if it comes out that I've actually been dating Dianne Feinstein, what happens if I get her pregnant?
I don't ask Abraham Lincoln.
You know what? I think if I get Dianne Feinstein pregnant, and you pass the boathouse, and you see some old guy on the 50th Street Bridge ready to jump, don't throw me no thing from the kiosk. Just let me go.
All right.
All right. Is this?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Ready to jump.
Good morning, you're on Kenosha Today.
Oh, good morning, Uncle Scotty.
Oh,
How are you doing? Captain Mike, yeah. You didn't give me any subjects or nothing. You just said inspiring Kenosha.
I thought I gave you a subject yesterday, didn't I?
No, I don't think you did.
Well, anyway, okay. Here's how you were inspiring Kenosha. I said this in the first hour. The other day when the windows were open and you were coming past in your little tricycle and the flag bouncing up and down, and those tourists were asking us about Amen Corner. What is that out there? And I said, I'd say you can see him normally over at the Dinosaur Museum. So you're a local treasure, inspiring everybody. All the little kids and snot-nosed kids in the 5th grade want to grow up to be like you. That's it?
Well, I don't know. I was just thinking about the lovely dinosaurs. They won't let me in anymore.
Says what?
I was just thinking about them lovely dinosaurs, and they won't let me in that museum anymore. They got their nerve.
Hey, we had a call in the first hour from Sharon, and she wanted to know, are you and Ruth, Irish Ruth, got a thing going? Because she was sitting on your lap, and she took her shoes off.
High heels and stuff.
High heels, and
putting them on.
she was putting the moves on you, and I started to sweat myself there for a while. Is that you going to confirm that?
I ain't confirming nothing. I ain't saying nothing. Nothing.
Listen,
nothing.
He's not running for Supreme Court justice.
No. What I was thinking about is kind of has to do with what the subject we were just talking about here. Now, if you set your goals at failure, and then if you fail, you actually succeed. Then you can go to the bar and think about what I just said, and that might make a success out of the bar owner.
Boy, that's just so.
Pathetic.
In other words,
pathetic.
In other words, we have you speak at, we'll say, the Carthage College commencement exercise or program, and you tell all these kids as an inspiration to, like Elmo here, try to fail all your classes so then when that happens, you succeed. Boy, there's a roadmap for life.
Set your goals real low.
Be an underachiever.
That's what we do here. We just set the bar low and go down from there. Okay.
Yeah, if you set your goals at failing and you fail, then you succeed.
Well, all I can tell you is when you get your Supreme Court justice hearing, and they start grilling you about how many times people like these like a gal like Ira Truth tried to molest you. You're going to have to answer up some point in time, bub.
Now, Captain,
there's a curse on my libido. Go ahead,
Captain. What we talked about is you need to tell the toupee story.
Oh, well, sometime maybe. I guess everybody's dead. I can tell the story. I guess.
Is it long?
Not quite. Yeah, it's very long.
Well, we'll have to
save it for
shorten
next
it up.
week.
We'll have to shorten it up because we're a little behind on advertising.
The snob didn't want to go out with me anymore. Do you believe that?
A snob? A couple?
Yeah. I told her a thing or two of that correctness.
Were these the statutory twins?
No, well, I took a nice girl to meet my family, and they ended up going to the corner bar, which was kind of a Hill William bar, and they were playing some really dirty songs, which is really unlike my family. They don't really drink, but they were wrecks. My aunt had a bar almost across the street, and my dad had a toupee. It was after my mother died, and he bought all this Italian junk jewelry and a toupee and hung around the tanning thing and working out.
Speed this up a bit, will you?
That's all. It ended up, my aunt liked to cause fights. She had a bar across the way, and my dad got involved because she did something funny. And then, since your dad's in a fight across the street, run across the street. And I started running over there. My dad got thrown out the window, and he landed on Grand Avenue in Chicago, and he lost his toupee. And then they threw the toupee at him and said, "Here, you lost this." My dad caught it in midair and just started scoring like crazy, and he told this fancy girl from a rich suburb.
And he got a contract offer from the Bears for your wide receiver. Okay.
You're right. Let's save that story. Save that story for another time.
Okay.
All right. See you at the conference.
Conference. Okay, bye.
Yeah. Boy, you don't have to encourage that guy too much. The status of this morning's Secret Word Challenge, sponsored by Barter's Financial Planning Services, has yet to be mentioned. And if you do happen to get lucky and say this morning's Secret Word, you send you a Boathouse $20 gift certificate. And, of course, you just heard our backed by public demand and public outcry.
Popular demand.
Popular demand and a public outcry. Captain Mike with his inspiring Kenosha. All right, now, you ready, Wayne?
Yeah, all right.
Take a deep breath. Written in our home office at Amen Corner, on the deck at the Boathouse Pub and Eatery, this week's Top 10 Thought-Provoking category. The Top 10 signs it's fall here in Kenosha. Number 10, trolley drivers starting to wear their flannel turbans. Number 9, tourists still haven't figured out exactly where the smell is coming from. Number 8, Alderman Anthony Kennedy sporting his pumpkin pie stretch pants. Boy, that's visual. Number 7, Kenosha News voted the best in town in the category of lining a bird cage. Number 6, Cubs and Brewers going to the playoffs. Packers going to the job fair at Foxconn. Number 5, potholes are now the size of East Dakota. Number 4, city workers seen putting up Easter decorations in the downtown. Number 3, snow plowing operations have begun in the 17th District. Number 2, ladies walking on 52nd Street offering 50% off discounts through Thanksgiving. And the number 1 sign, it's fall here in Kenosha. All the kiosks are now boarded up for the winter. There was 10, right?
Yeah, there was 10. He did good this week, Scotty.
I just rush it. You know, when I get excited, I tend to rush.
You tend to rush, yeah.
Premature.
Oh, premature, got it.
We're taking your phone calls about anything you want to talk about. 262-694-1050. You know, big, whole full page. I thought Michael Bell Sr. was over and done with years ago. But now, this was on Wednesday. Who ordered the police cover-up? He's got a picture of his son. And then he's, did Mayor Anaranian fail to ensure a proper gathering of facts? And basically, should Mayor Anaranian step down for allowing a flawed investigation? You know, basically calling the mayor a cheating something like this. But this was all settled. I just don't understand why. Well, I guess the Kenosha News can let advertise who they want. It's money, but I mean, they got him $1.75 million or whatever it was back in 10 years ago or 8 years ago. Why are we revisiting and then calling out our mayor? We like John Anram, don't we?
I think it's okay.
Yeah, he's doing a good job. It's either him or me. Let him do it. Hey, we got before we get to the sports talk. We missed Pete's Place. You want to talk a little bit?
No, we didn't. Well, Pete's Place located at 45.
Good morning on Kenosha today.
Irish Ruth here.
Oh, we're just talking about
Uncle Scotty Barter. You didn't think I was in your league. Look, tonight I'm on the 12:10 train today, headed for the Brauhaus in Chicago. So I can't make that 10%er.
Wait a minute. You're going to a Brauhaus?
Brauhaus
can't you just,
is a German restaurant.
A brothel? You just can't. You know, Ruth, I don't think
Ruth, I have news for you. The Brauhaus is closed.
Over there by Lincoln Avenue in the German neighborhood.
Ruth, they closed. They shut down. They're not in business anymore.
Oh, really?
Yes.
All right. Okay. Thank you.
However, Captain Mike would be delighted to come down and take you everywhere, any place you want to go.
Go
to Lasix or.
But I don't think I'm in your league, okay? I don't think I'm in your league. But I was in a lofty place. I can't get over what it's like to be towering up there and be in a lofty place. It was amazing. It just was an incredible experience.
Pete's Oktoberfest, right?
Yeah, that's correct. And I had to catch a bus out of Zion, but their schedule for Saturday was an early dismissal, so there was no bus. But that's why I left. I actually wanted to get the last bus out of Zion.
I always said that. Irish Ruth. You're on the short bus.
Yeah, but anyway, that was a wonderful. And if you had given the prize of singing "The Power of Love" from the German a cappella choir in German, I definitely would have stayed.
Well, that's not up to me. I don't.
That's not in our repertoire.
That's not in my. That's above my pay grade.
What was there a prize for the Miss Oktoberfest contest?
I have no clue.
She
got a tiara. I saw that. So
yeah.
Oh, okay.
I heard you were in the running, but I don't know what happened. You must have faded at the end. You couldn't go the distance.
Yeah.
And plus, you were too busy with Captain Mike trying to sit on his lap. God almighty, get a room next time.
You know, the good thing was...
It was a brief encounter of...
half the night is a brief encounter.
So I knew you didn't think I had it in me, but you'll never find any witnesses on any molestations or any of those things, because I leave no witnesses.
Ooh. Hey, what'd you think?
Killed him, right?
What'd you think of Captain Mike's place? Pretty snappy, huh?
Of Captain Mike's what?
His house. His house. You went over there, didn't you?
No. I took the princess, the high princess. We went back to Zion.
That's what he calls himself. He's the high prince.
No, this was the princess. By the way, that would have been a nice prize. The
night with Captain Mike? That would have been.
The Prince of Wales, the wine. A bottle of the Prince of Wales wine. That would have been a really wonderful prize.
All right,
I have my own crown. I have my own crown. In my father's mansions are many crowns, and I have my own crown.
We like royal crown, and I got to let you go because
Crown Royal.
Crown Royal, right? Anyway, good luck next year.
Yep. Now for my favorite part of the show. What's that say? Talk to the audience. Oh God, this is always death.
Every so often, Wacky Wayne comes from beyond the arc, you know.
Right.
Puts in a 3-pointer with all but net.
Nothing but net.
Nothing but net.
Anyway, getting back to Pete's Union Park Tavern, excuse me, soon to be just the Union Park Tavern. But, you know, they had the dachshund races there for Oktoberfest.
Those were cute. I like that.
And it was won by the oldest, most feeble dog of the entire bunch. So that was,
oh, really?
Yeah.
I thought it was pretty cute.
So there's hope for you, Scott.
No, I'll enter next week. Next year. The old dog.
Anyway, they have great food, great drinks, everything is spectacular down there. And be sure to get down there with a new addition. Anyway, Pete's Union Park Tavern, 4528th Avenue in Kenosha, right across from Sagittarius. It says, your armpit hair will begin to grow at an alarmingly rapid rate.
How about that? No, I'll have to
invest in a good pair of shears.
Well, I got Black & Decker, you know.
Okay.
And
get like a hedge trimmer or something?
Yeah, I use it for other things. No wonder the sign came down. Hey, read Wacky Wayne. What's your?
We covered it.
Oh, we did.
We did.
Okay. How about Spider? What's your sign?
Virgo.
Taurus is rising.
Dressing as a feline may give others cause for concern.
Also in the scoop. Now this is you just come out with this once a month.
Yeah, once a month. We just came out really yesterday, Thursday night. I got it.
No, I like this here. This month in history, October 8th, 1871, the Chicago fire erupts. 1914, first income tax laws were passed. Of course, 1929 was the Wall Street crashed. In 1931, Al Capone was found guilty. And then here's something that my dad always related to me. October 1st, 1946, Mensa was created.
What happened on the second?
Denso was created. And then, of course, October 22nd, 1962, the Cuban Missile Crisis. October 29th, 1969, the first spam email was sent. And here's two we'll finish up with a flurry. October 4th, 1986, Elmo got married for the first time. Hey, you know...
That's news?
You know, mine was October 5th, I believe, in the 70s someplace, I think. I know it was in October, when I remember. So you got to pick up this. This is all free at the Scoop, Pete's Union Park Tavern, Volume 1, Number 3.
Number 3.
Who's this picture of this gal on the stick here?
Well, a gal on the stick?
Well, I mean...
it's a witch on a broom. Come on.
Yeah,
now, hold on. What kind of magazine is this? You got a girl on a stick.
Well, she's on a broom. Okay.
You can't just be handing that out to just anybody.
Yeah.
Especially young, impressionable guys.
Right.
Well, it's in an establishment where you're supposed to be 21.
Oh, okay. That's better then.
Ask Dr.
They don't let family in there at all, huh?
Ask Dr.
No,
Trixie.
Kids are welcome, accompanied by a parent or guardian.
All right.
I like he's got even in the personals. I should pay attention to this. Single white female seeking single male. Looks not important. Must be tall, slim, and attractive. I guess I don't apply there. Single white female, 24. Really cute. I have blue eyes, blonde hair. I'm 5'6". I am sporty, athletic. You know, our friend Jay always says, if she puts something like that she's athletically toned, put your shoes on and run like hell.
Brian Urlacher with a wig. Okay, that's it.
I'll take the whole menu.
We'll play Stump the Chumps. If anybody wants to play Stump the Chumps, you can give us a call. I built up that act pretty
close
much,
enough, yeah.
Anyway, that's Pete's Union Park Tavern, 4520 8th Avenue in Kenosha.
And they have something different every night, or every day, I should say.
The Box Band tonight is playing.
Box Band?
Yep.
And then next week, organic spaceship music.
Cacti. Yep.
And then October 12th, Each Mother. Jam
and 3 big days of Halloween coming up. So.
Hey, we were in there on Sunday after the disastrous Packer game, and I got him Cy Costabile. Really tickles that ivories there. He's got people singing and set up for him.
That's right, yeah.
Boy, I'm mighty proud of him.
Yep.
Prop him up like a weekend at size. 262-6994. He's a lot of fun. If you want to try to stump the chumps, which this morning consists of Elmo, Spider, Ronnie, Wacky Wayne, myself, 262-694-1050. Hit me with your best shot. That's building up the act.
Yeah.
Did I fail to tell you didn't have to clear the phone lines for this?
I know.
Couple things in the sports column here. The Packers really stunk it up last week. And, you know, poor Clay Matthews.
They were still recovering from that Vikings game.
Yeah, but
the Vikings did too. They tried to kill each other, and then nothing left in the tank.
My God, Randall Cobb couldn't catch a cold last week, let alone a football. He fumbled, and, the Packers had a chance, an opportunity to get back, but then, they got to do something. Clay Matthews, 3 weeks in a row for late hits or whatever they're calling. They got to
roughing the passer.
Roughing the passer. What are they going to do?
They had 110 yards in penalties.
Yep.
Well,
yeah.
And they all came at a time that cost them
Right.
a driver or something. So the Packers
Well,
play.
you got guys that have been taught to play football one way, and then they change the rules on them. So how are you supposed to unlearn that?
Well, I can understand the one hit.
Let's just have flag football. I think that's what it should be. You know,
Where he actually lifted somebody up and nailed him to the ground. That's how Rodgers got his collarbone broke last year. But
It was a clean hit, regular hit.
yeah, I mean the guys.
they're destroying the
Neither one of
game, and they will eventually the viewers will go away. And then
For those people that are calling, and if you're star 69 or 67, 68, whatever that is, and it comes up
why do you even
unavailable,
bother to say that, Scott? You're
because
just
I don't want them wasting my time.
Well, you think they listen to you?
Obviously not, because hanging on my every word. Tiger Woods won his first tournament in a long time, and you know what?
Comeback.
Big ratings increase for. He had an
PGA.
increase on 178%. Nielsen found 4.4 Nielsen rating. 18 million people, 18 million minutes streamed. Tiger, say what you want, is still good for golf, especially on a Sunday and during football season. Good morning. You're in Kenosha today.
Hey, how you doing, Scott?
Dennis.
Dennis, been a while.
Yeah, you okay?
Well, believe it or not, I'm still on the mend. Kind of like my last test I took in college. I still haven't passed the kidney stone.
You didn't? Well, what is it?
They sonically attacked it, and it broke into half, and I still have a couple pieces of it in me.
Well, what kind of doctor are you going? Is he working out of a red panel truck in the boathouse parking lot? Let's go, buddy. Right. Benny Boombats.
No, well, it's my fault because he gave me the option. He goes, you can try to wait it out and pass it, or, well, you guys know the other option, right? And I'm trying to wait it. I'm trying to see if I can pass it on my own.
Well, this is a month.
Dennis, I got a suggestion. Go to the circus like Kramer did.
I didn't see that episode.
Oh, it's fantastic. So, well, he passed the kidney stone, and he let out. He was in the bathroom. He let out a scream while this guy was on the high wire, and he fell off.
Don't do that. We'll get hate mail for sure. You know, why don't you take?
I heard you guys talking about football. I don't know if you're Packer fans or Bear fans. I'm a Bear fan, but I know you're sorry for me. But a Packer fan told me a little story about why Khalil Mack signed with the Bears and not the Packers.
What?
The Packers couldn't guarantee him a 2-month vacation during January and February.
Very good, Dennis. Very good. Well, you know what? Like Elmo pointed out, there was a couple years back where the Bears won the first 3 games, and then they lost 8 in a row. So, I mean, yeah, we got a long way to go. And there was a time when the Packers were 1-3 as a start, and they went out and won the division.
Yeah,
so,
they did that year.
long way to go. But here's the big sports issue today and tomorrow. The Cubs are playing the Cardinals at noon, I think they start today. And the Brewers are playing Detroit. And if any combination, all the Cubs got to do is win one more, if I understand this right, and then they are the league champs.
Yeah, but if they put it this way, what if they ended up with a tied record? Does the fact that the Cubs won the season series against the Brewers, is that?
No, they have a one-game playoff.
One-game playoff on Monday.
Yep.
Oh, okay.
If they should end up in a tie. You know, it's really kind of interesting. You play 162 games, you end up with in a tie. But, you know, that's good. That's
great.
Exciting.
And the Brewers, I think, play tonight.
Yeah, 6:05.
6:05. By then, the Cub game will be over. But, you know, St. Louis is just a terrible team. They put the guy in for a pinch runner the other night. He's in with a score, and he falls down halfway between third and home.
That's spectacular.
Yeah, I saw that. Yeah.
And yesterday they put
the catcher fell down trying to tag him
trying to
out.
find him. And then yesterday you got the pitcher up with 2 outs, and the guy gets picked off first base. No wonder the Cubs are out of it. You can't do that. But
yeah, they've got their problems. That's for sure.
But usually St. Louis has a good team, and you know, usually everybody was worried about the Cardinals coming, and not if you're a Cub fan, not the Brewers. But you know, you go right down to the end, and I think the Brewers played a lot better than anybody had thought back in the spring. And but I love it. You get down to the last 2 games of the season. That's what it's all about. Actually, what it's all about is you passing your kidney stone. So I'm sure there's bigger things in life other than the Brewers and the Cubs.
Well,
right?
believe me, it's like the old saying. If you wanted to trade your problems with somebody else, they'd gladly trade with you. I mean, there's a lot worse things than what I'm going through.
You want to trade your problems for Scott's?
Well, I don't know about Scott. Who knows? But Captain Mike, I don't know.
Well, him and Irish Ruth are a thing, you know. You should have seen them. I thought they were going to have to get a room last week at the Oktoberfest. That was.
She was sitting on his lap,
my
and
God, I was starting to break out into a sweat. Young, impressionable guy like me.
So how you guys been doing lately? All right?
Yeah, I got to go to a break, but I get a suggestion. Why don't you take some X-Lax?
That doesn't work on it. It's not the same.
Oh, it doesn't go through the same...
Different avenue.
You're not a doctor? You just play one on television? Okay.
Scotty the Dirty Doctor. Didn't you ever hear about me? Here, baby, this won't hurt a bit. All right, anyway, how's what's her name?
She's just getting over almost a month of poison ivy.
Yeah, I saw that. What's going on out there in Waterford?
Well, I told her not to weed. You know, we're in areas that she doesn't know, and she started weeding, and, you know.
Dennis, you got to stop planting that stuff in your yard. You know, that's...
Yeah.
Got to keep it in the garage.
She has her own bathroom, and you put a big bush in there. You can't understand.
You're saying keep the weed in the garage like Shirley?
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
All right, Dennis, I'm heading down the home stretch on the Kenosha Today trolley ride this morning. If you just joined us, this is the September 29th edition of the Kenosha Today Weekly Report, broadcasting live to over 1.4 million people residing in the WIP listening area. Being brought to you by our major sponsors, the Boathouse Pub and Eatery and Barter's Financial Planning Services, along with a host of many other very fine local businesses. This morning's cast of characters, Elmo Schneider, Esquire.
I'm not an attorney.
Well, big deal. Who cares?
It's his show.
Yeah, you're now.
Don't put me in with that bunch of people. Okay, all right.
From the galaxy called Spider Dome, the Love Doctor, Spider Ronnie, the camera dude, and along with our engineer, board operator, Wacky Wayne. Hey, I'm glad to see you doing some promos now. They got you out.
Yeah, they decided that Pete was on there too much.
Yep.
You're doing a good job.
Thank you.
You're going to get that Employee of the Month.
I don't know about all that, but yeah.
10-cent an hour raise.
Yeah, put you up in a big bracket.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Good morning. You're on Kenosha Today.
Welcome back, Ruth.
Yes, thank you. I just wanted to mention you can call me anything, but don't call me Picante Mucha.
Okay.
Okay, got it.
Bye.
Thank you.
Picante Mucha, what is that?
Note to self.
Salsa dip.
Picante Mucha?
Picante Mucha.
It is a what?
I don't know.
We'll look it up.
Google it.
It's a salsa dip.
She might have sworn we didn't flip it out.
Translate.google.com.
Anyway, we're here every Saturday from 10 to noon. Okay, if you happen to miss our Saturday show, we can tune in tomorrow on the replay. And after what time do the Bears play tomorrow?
I think they're noon also.
Oh, it should be. Oh, yeah, they are. That should be a good game. Status of the Secret Word Challenge to win a $20 Boathouse gift card from Barter's Financial Planning Services is still yet to be unnamed.
Yep, noon.
Still yet to be named. And now, boys and girls, it's time for this week's special editorial segment, High Five, Zingers, and Doofuses. This morning's headliner, As the Pumpkin Turns. Like the sands in the hourglass in the days of our lives. This week's High Five, and you guys ain't going to believe this. This week's High Five goes to the city of Kenosha for placing...
What?
Say what?
Hold on. You've been
Start
picking
the
on
music
them.
over. Start the
Hold
music
on.
over.
You've been picking on them all day, and you're telling me that they are the high five.
I'm a fair and equal for the most part.
Yeah, okay.
Whatever you want to call me here.
Sure.
All right, start the music.
Try again.
This week's High Five goes to the city of Kenosha for placing 2 lightning detectors and placing them in various locations throughout the city, and for budgeting for additional detectors in the upcoming years. At a cost of, I was doing so well. At a cost of $24,000 annually to install something that will actually help save lives. I commend Mayor Ann Terranium, and yes, even Alderman Dan Prozansky. We'll cut him some slack on wearing the bear shirt for initiating the project. And so to the city of Kenosha, we salute you. Unlike other gestures, we give you high five using all 5 fingers. All right, Zinger, Elmo.
Got your finger on the button, Wayne? Because you're going to need it this time. Okay.
Are you kidding me? Because I'll just turn your mic off now, and you can just talk.
Well,
to the
I don't know.
air.
I might get too excited here.
Let's not get too excited.
This week's zinger goes to those people in the corrupt state of Illinois. Thank you, Sharon, who managed to elect the most vile, despicable person on the planet, Dick Durbin, to the United States Senate, as he proved once again in this week's Senate hearing. He is nothing more than a pus-oozing...
Don't hold back, Elmo. Don't hold back.
Boil on the sphincter of humanity. Okay. It amazes me that you've reelected a man that referred to members of the United States Armed Forces as Nazis. So proving once again that it's not only the state of Illinois financially bankrupt, but morally as well.
You're done now?
I'm done. Okay, I cut it short. So.
This week's doofus goes to the senators on both sides for their public airing of partisan politics at its worst during the Kavanaugh hearings for Supreme Court Justice. This nonsense has clearly shown to the American public how this nation is seemingly more divided than at any other time in our history. To this we say, poppycock.
Poppycocks.
Poppycock. So whose fault is it? Is it the Republicans? Is it the Democrats? Is it President Trump? Or is it the huge amount of money that's at stake these days? In my opinion, I truly believe that our country would be better off, in my opinion, without the two-party system, because it doesn't seem to be working. Change the Constitution and make this the American party, and let's do what's best in the interest of all of Americans with no preference to a person's sex, race, religion, religious denomination. However, reality tells me that the odds of this ever happening are about as great as Kenosha getting a new casino. But hey, just remember, this is America, and at least a person can still dream. And there you have it, folks, as the pumpkin turns for this Saturday, September 29th, 2018. Scotty Barter and I approve this message. Well, we talked about at the beginning of the show what's going to happen next week, and I concur with Elmo. I think the FBI is going to say, where do you want us to investigate? You haven't given us any times and places, and we've already done this. So I think, and like... who's the Flack, or who's the guy that...
Flake.
You know, he says, I don't have the power to put this on the agenda. That's up to, who's the Speaker of the House? Not the Speaker of the House, but the guy...
nobody on that committee has the ability or authority to order an FBI investigation of anything.
So who runs this, where they're going to put it to the floor for a vote where they need the 50 votes? Not Mitch, is it Mitch McConnell?
Yep.
Okay. He says he's the only one that can put it on the agenda, yay or nay. And if he's got the votes, come Monday.
No, you can bring it up for approval in the Senate.
Sure.
That's what's going on.
If they think they got the votes.
That's right.
But I got a feeling they're going to have to wait. There's a couple people that are apparently on the bubble, and they're going to have to wait for them to say, okay, there's nothing here. Okay, there's nothing here. I want to commend KRS Painting Corporation, specializing in commercial residential. North? Vacation?
North.
Yeah,
up north.
Not working.
You're going up north.
You going to call us in? Probably not.
Going to be visiting Wayne's in-laws up there?
Okay. Not going that far? Farther north? Okay.
Here's a big news story that when we say spanning the globe.
Yes.
Italian playboy Maurizio, how pronounce it? Maurizio Zanfantini died at the age of 63. Apparently he was an Italian playboy. And he's famous because he slept with 6,000 women. He's famous. He's famous. 63, who claims he slept with 6,000 women, but he apparently died while he was doing this with a 23-year-old tourist. I think I got to hand it to this guy 6,000 times.
Allegedly.
No, he.
I know, he alleges.
Well, that beats my record.
He's an amateur. Look at Wilt Chamberlain.
30,000, wasn't it? That's right. A round bound of rebound, right? Rebound. Here was a story. Axe throwing in a bar seems to be unsafe and has their liquor license suspended for a day.
Sounds like.
This is in...
seems to be.
Autumn Hills, a bar. I don't know where this is. In Michigan. And they featured axe throwing lanes, but they had their liquor license suspended by the Michigan Liquor Control Commission for one day to develop new safety procedures and precautions. Apparently, throwing an axe where alcohol is being consumed, apparently in Michigan,
works for me.
It's not a safe thing.
Jarts.
Here's the jarts. Yeah, Do they still sell jarts?
No, they've been made illegal. So.
Yeah.
Dr. Trixie has a set in mid-condition, too.
I do.
So the real ones.
The trouble is, I ain't going to let any gal come over to Barter Manor and put those in her hands. Forget it. You think the sign was...
Don't worry, your garage is always open. I'm sure they'll find the jarts.
I did injure a girl playing jarts on a 4th of July party one year. So she was on the opposing team on the other end and was not paying attention. So
yeah, see? Apparently, according to Michigan law, drinking alcohol, throwing axes, and wearing open-toed shoes and a lack of monitoring by bar management, axes are ricocheting off targets in the direction of participants. And licensed establishment that allows alcohol-consuming patrons to throw potentially injurious and even deadly weapons pose a significant concern. So they showed them. They suspended their liquor license for 1 day.
Oh, 1 day.
Well, then that'll teach them. Hey, we talked a little bit, maybe we didn't. Trump's new presidential Cadillac limo made its debut, and his new limo, 20,000 pound, costs $1.5 million for a limo.
For of the taxpayers' money, right?
Oh, absolutely.
Of course.
Built by General Motors.
Sure.
It's a Cadillac XT6 sedan, and it has 8-inch thick walls and a 5-inch multi-layer windows, a mix of steel and aluminum. Ceramic armors are meant to fend off different types of attacks, and in case of biochemical attack, as well, the car is sealed to protect those against all of those. Now, I don't think this thing is made to protect them against Nancy Pelosi, though, right?
Well, Scott, they do have scratch-proof paint on the doors, so that's...
I don't know why didn't I see that coming. God almighty.
Something to invest in, Scotty.
Sometimes Uncle Scotty just ain't quite there, and he's, we got 12 minutes. I should have just, here, Elmo, here's a little soft lob. Why don't you
Here's
just
a little softball. Why don't you
roll?
knock this out the park for me?
Yeah. What was it? Yeah, sometimes you.
This is the third car, right? Okay.
Yeah. We're talking about something completely different, but yeah, maybe I should invest $1.5 million and get myself where they can't scratch my car up. That'll show them. Its doors weigh as much as those on a 757 jet, and it has run-flat tires inside. I don't know, inside the wheel wells. Also,
there's a blood supply and oxygen too in there.
Right. It includes a night vision system
and a toilet.
Door handles.
Green Hornet car?
Door handles can be electrified to shock anyone trying to get inside, and the ability to fire tear gas. It can lay down an oil slick and deploy a smoke screen.
It's James Bond stuff, man.
1.5 million.
007.
And then it has the ability to dispatch the nuclear codes, and it has 7 seats inside to make sure the Secret Service members can surround the president. Of course, a couple blinds, like Stormy Daniels, would fit in there nicely.
Yep.
And it contains a bunch of medical supplies, including, vodka. Get this, no. A what? Vodka. No.
Rot gut.
And contains a bunch of medical supplies, including a refrigerator full of blood matching Trump's blood type.
Jeez.
In fact, one of the, didn't we, somebody told me one time.
Did you donate that?
Me?
Yeah.
Oh, it would be boiling.
Got your blood in the back of the presidential
putting my blood in with Trump. Isn't that a good mix? I'll convey my blood to Stormy Daniels. So, not that I'm a pervert or anything, but
No, you go to meetings for that. You're fine.
No, I don't go to meetings anymore.
Oh, right.
I'm going to what's the Jewish stuff? I go to temple on Tuesdays.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Wear my little black Yamaha hat and
Yarmulke.
Yeah.
No, Yamaha.
Yeah, I know. I picked.
I learned that when we celebrated the Jewish New Year's, or Ramchado.
Okay.
Or Rosh Hashanah. I'm sorry, Ramchado. Well, this is really. In fact, there's 2 of these cars because one is used as a decoy.
Well, sure.
See, what did I think? I should have bought 2 cars, and I could have put one word in. They'd probably scratch them both.
Yeah,
Buy some extra doors.
Yeah. Does this car come equipped with about a safety?
Easy exchange.
Here's the article I was looking for before about why the school district's enrollment is down. Baby boomers who married young, divorced, and remarried, and so on. Generation X, and especially the millennials, are being pickier about who they marry. Oh, yeah, we were pretty picky. I was picky who I married. She had a lower standard of the bar, but The result is a U.S. divorce rate that dropped 18% from 2008 to 2016. I thought...
Bunch of unemployed lawyers, I got to say, so that's...
you know what, I thought
okay.
that, although the divorce rate has dropped 18%, I still think that, last I read, 50% of the people who get married will be divorced 5 years later, but maybe not. You know, God, maybe there's a thing to this marriage thing, Elmo.
Yeah, I don't know.
Try it again, find out.
No, it's all right. I got to read this by the boathouse before we get done.
Employee of the month over there. So.
Yeah, well, the last gal we said we were going to vote for Employee of the Month. She goes, well, this was last month. She goes, well, I'm the only one that's been here for over 30 days. Well, she's leaving, so now we got our boy Grant, and
yeah.
we're gonna put him up for
Employee.
We told him last Sunday we were going to put him up for Employee of the Month, and he goes, oh, big woof.
Yeah, right.
What is it, Grant? You got a girlfriend? He says, nobody would date me.
He's a positive guy, isn't he?
We're going to work with him.
All right. Yeah, scar him for life. Got it.
No. I think...
Poor kid.
Yeah, but when... let's see, he's only a sophomore. You know what? We're going to...
What is he, 16 years old, I think? 16 or 17,
yeah,
maybe?
16. I think he's a sophomore. By the time he gets to next
take
spring...
some lessons from Mr. Kavanaugh, I think. So.
We are going to get him so polished up, you'll never recognize the guy, and he's going to get at least 3 girls are going to ask him to go to prom.
All right. What are the odds on this? Yeah, right.
Well, who can help the guy better than Elmo, me, and Captain Mike and K-Dog?
Oh, that poor bastard.